So you should introduce me, though, because he's expecting you.
Hi, Mac. This is Shalina from the Georgetown Voice.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Thank you so much for sitting down and doing the interview with us. I'm here with my friend Robin.
Hey, what's up?
Cool. How you doing?
Great.
Good.
Just like short introduction, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. And Robin, where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey. This is an interview for The Voice, which is a kind of left-leaning political paper, but also into the arts at Georgetown. So thanks a ton again. And we were just wondering how long you had to talk to us.
I don't know. I mean, I'm out and about, but just knock yourselves out and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
No
just
problem,
cut us off whenever if we're if we're asking too many questions.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you can start us off, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So the first question is, I'm really, really excited about your new album that's going to be coming out soon, Salad Days. Can you tell us about the album? I'm pretty curious about the name, too. And I listened to Passing Out the Pieces and noticed that there's more of a synth influence to it. Can you talk a little bit about that and what type of sound you're trying to evoke?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess the album, the name Salad Days is a reference from it's like a saying, but it originates in the Antony and Cleopatra, a Shakespearean play. It's about maybe a more youthful time or a youth time. But I mean, I don't think the album's necessarily about that, but it's kind of, in a way it is. But and anyway, with the synths, I guess, I don't know. I mean, you play guitar for 6-7 years, you kind of get a little bored. So for me, playing and writing songs on piano now is kind of a little bit of a new I don't know, it's kind of fresh. So, and I don't really know what I'm doing at all. So it's, for me, when I can actually hammer something out, and then it's kind of like, oh, this is great, not bad. So it's fun for me. And a lot of what this album was about was kind of like everybody has the sophomore album pains, and for me, I just had to figure out how I could keep having fun with it and to forget about label pressure and the blogs being when's the album coming up. So I just had to relax a little bit. And I guess that's how I did it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, speaking of label pressure, in the music industry, it seems like a lot of artists are pressured to develop an image, but you definitely seem to have avoided that. You definitely have kind of an anti-image going on.
I have an edgy image.
I might say that. Anti. Yeah, no. But at the same time, I feel like your music is very ironic. A lot of reviews have commented it's hard to tell when you're being serious. Do you feel like you ever, it ever prevents you from being as serious as you want to be, or do you kind of like the what you've chiseled out for yourself?
I mean, I feel like I can be as serious as I need to be when I need to be. Like, for example, when I'm writing the songs, if I'm feeling serious, that's fine. If not, then I'll write something a little fun. But I just really think that it's I'm not like some kind of, I wouldn't even consider myself some, artist or something. I'm just, having a good time.
Just having fun.
That, for me, rock and roll is about having fun. And I think that if I'm being a little bit, jovial or kind of, goofy or something, then it makes other people more uncomfortable because they don't think I'm some cool prick or something. So, and I mean, for me, it's not only about making it and presenting it, but also about connecting with people. So I think it just makes people more comfortable. But I mean, it is funny, when people just assume I'm like a freak of nature or something. But I'm pretty used to it by this point. So, but
Was that something that you expected to happen, or were you just having fun and it just kind of evolved?
I think it's just the way I am. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people they're always trying to do this, oh man, for me, it was as far as presenting ourselves, I just didn't want to be one of those, indie rock bands that kiss their feet the whole time they play and stuff, And I think, I don't know, it didn't seem very, crazy or, out of, the ordinary to me, but to other people it seems to be. So I guess it was sort of accidental, but I just kind of felt like it was natural, so I don't know.
Do you often get I don't know, do you often feel like people over-assess that a lot? Sometimes, like when people are doing album reviews or something like that?
You mean like the weird side of
yeah, like over-assess it as being like something that you did on purpose or, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't really know. I mean,
you don't have to know. It's good.
Crazy things in interviews. You know, they like compare us to strange things. They like make strange assumptions. And
Yeah.
I just think it's funny, you know, because it's like none of it is really it really matters that much. But the whole public persona thing, and like it's just, I just find it like really hilarious. You know, and it gets a little overwhelming sometimes, but you know,
it is hilarious.
I don't know who I am, so it's okay.
On that note, also, you know, your videos are hilarious and fantastic. Are you kind of just in control of those, or did you have to push to be in control of them, or?
It depends. I mean, the stupid little videos that I put on YouTube and shit, that's just me.
Those are great.
those are fantastic.
It's usually, I'm glad you guys like
hard flexing.
It depends. Sometimes I'll do them with, close friends of mine, in which case we'll work pretty closely together on it. Other times, you know, some kid will be like, for example, My Kind of Woman, like he was sending me scripts for months, and I was like, you know, I was kind of busy, so like wasn't even reading them, and it's hard to get back to these people. But then he like calls me, somehow gets my number, and he's like, hey man, I want to fly to LA, and I was like, oh man, I love the script.
That's great.
Like,
that's awesome.
Situation I kind of handed over, but I think I'm kind of done with like giving other people like full creative control over stuff. Because it's fun. I'm pretty much up for anything, but at the same time, it's kind of like it just kind of gets to be a pain in the ass sometimes. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you didn't have like complete creative control over the video for My Kind of Woman?
Oh, I didn't even. I just kind of showed up there like, hey, let's go dress shopping.
That's so cool. That's definitely one of my favorite videos of yours. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, those kids, I think they understood my vibe. And
your aesthetic, kind of.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like fun anyway.
So your album too sounds a lot like Lou Reed's Transformer.
we thought so at least. Yeah.
Yeah, so are you a fan of Lou Reed? And this.
Yeah, I listened to Transformer all the time when I was writing that album.
Wow.
I wanted to like do because the production of Transformer is so good. So I'm obsessed with like the 70s, like real crispy, dry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we definitely noticed that. We were trying to figure out a way to kind of characterize the sound in your album, and we came up with like swampy, twangy, like southern 50s kind of descriptors, but how would you characterize it?
How would I compare what to what?
How would you characterize what the sound is?
The sound on two, how would, I guess
I would just say jizz jazz. You know,
jizz jazz.
I always either say jizz jazz or shitty Steely Dan, but I don't really know.
That's great.
So we've mentioned before that The Voice is a political paper, extremely left-leaning.
Not extremely. Left.
Left, yeah. We noticed a fair amount of androgyny in your album art and music videos. Is this politically motivated or just like a part of the image? Or
another way to be kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be a political thing either.
It doesn't really reach as deep as being political in any way, I don't think. But I mean, yeah, I'm also like, you know, any of that, you know, equal rights, yada, yada, yada. I'm up for it, you know. But I mean, I'm not like trying to push a message in either way, really. It's kind of, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, rednecks are crazy in my eyes, but like, I'm not necessarily trying to be like, fuck you guys or anything. Like, just being a goofball, I think, for the most part. But if especially if like, you know, super right wing, like sketchy Americans get like offended or like uncomfortable by, you know, the way I present myself, you know, that's great. I think that's great.
Awesome. What was I gonna say? So, kind of a quick question. What's your favorite song that you've written of yours?
Shit.
That might be a tough one.
But. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more of like which recordings, because I mean the songs is kind of like what I don't know. A lot of them I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, I remember sort of right now, but as far as the recordings go, I don't know. I like the recordings where it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. It was kind of weird. I would like listening to that still together recordings. It was like kind of one take, and it's like, you know, a little different than like doing the guitar over and over and over, or you know,
kind of
I don't know, stuff like that. It like it has a little more memory attached to it, I guess.
That makes sense.
Did you expect Ode to Viceroy to become so popular when you wrote that?
I didn't really know. I mean, I just thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was like a cute idea for a song, you know, like writing this like a very strange love song about cigarettes. But yeah, kids seem to have connected to it quite a bit, which is the funny thing about it for me is a lot of people assume that viceroys are really nice cigarettes when they're actually the worst,
like super shitty.
And that's part of the idea of the song. But you know, I mean, I think it's funny.
I've also noticed, speaking of, like you said, younger kids, that your fan base often tends to, or from the videos, tends to be a lot of people from younger generations. And I've also noticed that at your concerts, there's like a lot of moshing and people get up on the stage and like really become a part of the show. How do you react to people just being so, I guess, into like your music in your shows? Like, did you expect that?
I didn't really expect it, but I welcome it though. I'd say I think it's cool. You know, I think it's kids can do whatever they want. You know, it's great to see people feeling so comfortable. I think you know, it's funny when half the crowd's singing, then half the crowd is just totally freaked out by it. But I think it's great. You know, I think it's like they're just having fun, which is great. You know, getting their minds worked.
Yeah, do you have a favorite show that sticks out in memory?
I loved playing Primavera at the summer Primavera last year. It was just kind of like the end of like this very long, like you know, trying like European tour, and then it was like I think the last show was just kind of like because it was like we're done, but also like it was just a great. It was just a fun show. The crowd was really nice. So
cool. Are there any artists you're drawing particular influence from for Salad Days?
I don't know. The synth stuff started kind of with like I've been listening. I'm really obsessed with Yellow Magic Orchestra and like all their offshoots and stuff. So, but I mean, it doesn't really. I don't think it really sounds like that too much. But I'm getting, you know, it's kind of weird, but nerding out on synth and stuff. But it's their fault, definitely. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure. Same influence as usual, I guess. But
just a different twist.
A little bit more, you know, strange Japanese synth pop.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. What's the favorite city you've played in?
I don't know, probably New York. I live here now. I love it, but
okay.
I like cities for different reasons, but I don't know. It always depends. It's like some places we have cool kids to hang out with. Maybe the shows aren't great. Other places we don't know anybody, but the shows are amazing. Yeah. Other places got great beach. Other places got like nice food. So it depends.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of
New York still.
Speaking of move from Canada to New York, how do you feel about Canada beating the U.S. in hockey?
I didn't even watch the Olympics. See, I get the hockey stuff a lot. Well, I did watch some of the Olympics, but with the hockey stuff, I mean, when I was growing up, all the kids in my high school were like real hockey jocks, and they like sad. I was like one of the first kids in school to like wear skinny pants. They were like, you fucking faggot. So like, so essentially, like, you know, hockey's turned me out for a long time. You know, you gotta kind of play the part a little bit being Canadian, but as far as I mean, it's fun to get really into that kind of sport, but you know, just knowing that like a lot of the players are like fucking apes.
Yeah.
They can fuck themselves. So
yeah.
But their girlfriends liked me, so you know, I think it was actually fuck those guys.
Best form of revenge.
Yeah, that's right.
I've heard you say in some other interviews that you have, I think you said ripped the sound or like really drawn heavily from some artists. Do you think that this has been like really integral in the creation of like your second album or your album now?
I don't know. I wasn't really like. Actually, yeah. There's a couple songs on the second album where I was like very, very close to ripping off pretty closely. But I think it's like for me, I'm always trying to copy something that I really like, or I get into, you get inspired by the song where you're like, holy shit, it's great. And then since I'm not like a super proficient musician, I can try and copy it, and then it comes out sounding, a lot of people like won't even compare it, or it's kind of like, sweet, I got it really sound pretty good. I think it's just kind of like it's like borrowing, that's what art is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. We've noticed that there has been a trend now of a lot of really great indie and rock artists coming out from Montreal and gaining a lot of popularity in the United States, especially in recent years.
Do you feel kind of indebted, or were you a part of like a Montreal scene? Is that somewhere you're from and that you draw from, or was it kind of more independent from that?
I tried to get into the Montreal. So I was a big part of the Vancouver scene and the Edmonton scene. I went to Montreal. Didn't really get along with very many of the bands. The record labels were kind of fucking me around, and everybody kind of. I think it's a misconception nowadays where like people are like, I gotta move to Montreal. Shit is happening. It's just really not. It's like like there's some good bands, but like it's nobody. None of this shit happened to me until I got signed up to a label in New York. So essentially, I don't know. I mean, I'm really sick of Montreal, but I think it's fine. It's cheap. The thing about it is it's so cheap that you can actually subsidize your life while trying to make music and shit. So it's like a good helper. But as far as like being a part of anything, I don't really think I was. It's like funny now, like we played shows there in the Arcade Fire. It's like, we'd like to get guest hosts for the show. It's like, you guys never get shit before, so now
yeah, but, definitely.
Yeah. Kind of funny.
So do you like the scene in the United States more than in Montreal, I guess?
Depends. I mean, it depends on the city. New York is kind of weird. I don't really feel like I'm part of any kind of scene here. I feel like I'm part of a record label, but there's just so many bands.
Yeah.
And I don't even play like local shows as much anymore because I don't know, all the booking agents and shit are like, oh, we gotta like do the lead up to the big concert or whatever. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe hopefully someday I'll be able to have some kind of like community surrounding me. But as far as it goes now, it's just kind of like the people that I've met over the years. And we don't necessarily live in the same place or even play together that much, but it's kind of like, see you when I see you, still love your stuff. So, kind of like more broad now, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. I think we don't want to take up too much of your time, but
thanks so much though for doing this.
Yeah. So,
did you have one more question? Or?
I think I was really just curious about your thoughts on the music industry in general, and like whether you feel like there's just way it's almost suffocating in a way to a lot of people who just really want to just go out there and just play music for the hell of playing music. Do you feel like that? Because for the vibe that I'm getting from like your videos and your music is that you're just doing this because this is what you love. And
well, that's the thing. That's the whole idea about the whole thing. I mean, the music industry is very, very strange. And but I mean, at the same time, it's great because I don't have to work a job anymore. But, making money anywhere, it's like all of a sudden. Hold on one second. What was I saying? As far as it goes, it's like I don't know. It's funny. Like you could make money, but then you got all these weird people working with you, and everyone's trying to be like, "I'll buy you dinner. I'll do this. I'll do that." Like all this weird. A lot of weird opportunities. A lot of weird shit. And I mean, it's like very enticing for some people, but I think, and I mean, I don't mind. Like I'll jump through any hoop they want me to, but I think like the basis of trying to do music, the most important thing is, if you're not doing it because you like it, like you're doing it to get on like a blog or like like dress like Grimes or something. It's like fuck yourself. Like it's like play in a fucking it's ridiculous. And the more and more I go around, I see like weird shit cropping up where it's kind of like this is almost like fucking fake ass like bullshit.
People just trying to be.
Well, it's just like I mean, people can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not going to tell anybody they suck because they're like But at the same time, it's like like, you know, you gotta have your intentions in the right place, or else everybody's gonna fucking know you're a joker. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever said that about you? Like that you feed into this industry?
Yeah, I'm sure tons of people say it now. I mean, the more, you know, successful you get in this, it's kind of funny too, because like the more, you know, acclaim or like, you know, successful you become, the more people just feel the need to hate on you. But I mean, I don't know. For me, it's not like they're not saying anything like, fucking posers. I mean, they just call me like a dirty, like, oh, he's so gross looking, he's dirty. Which, like, I'm completely fine with, because I am. So, I don't really know. It's kind of like, they can go fuck themselves anyway. Because, I mean,
They can.
and that's the thing, like, that's what part of this new album was about. It's, like, kind of getting a little bit tied up in the industry and in, like, the label vibe and shit.
Yeah.
And then, and then, like, kind of having to refigure out why I'm doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
I did. I feel great again, you know? But it can get a little sucked up, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta know when to say no.
What surprises should we expect from your new album? Is there something in particular that we should be looking for?
I don't think so. I think it's just kind of like another album. I think a lot of people are anticipating something huge, but it's just an album. And I hope people like it. If they don't, I'll make another one this year.
That's great. I just have one more question. This is something that I've observed in a lot of your videos. You are always smoking a cigarette in your interviews, in your music videos. Is it just something that you like, or is it just a part of?
I don't even smoke. It's just a kind of.
Oh,
That's so great.
that's fantastic.
I'm very, very addicted to smoking, and I think half of my income probably goes to cigarettes. But no, it's no joke there. But you know, I don't know. And then, but it is funny though, doing videos and shit like that. People are like, "Yeah, you like smoking? Like, why do you have another one?" So it's like, you know, I'm doing a photo sometimes, and I end up smoking like 18 cigarettes in the span of half an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Just kind of like, please stop. You know?
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing a single review of Passing Out the Pieces for Georgetown Radio tomorrow. So I'll send that your way. And this will be going out in the print, I think, in a couple of weeks. We have spring break, so it'll go out after that so that it can be a long feature kind of interview. And, thanks so much.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
He's so cool.
Fuck was
What he
that?
said about hockey was hilarious.
I know.
I'm so glad.
You are listening to WTUL New Orleans 91.5 FM. We are here with Mac DeMarco, who just finished playing a set on the LBC Quad at Tulane for free. Mac, say hi.
Hi, what's up?
So, what did you think of the whole show? It was a cool free show right on the Quad, put on by TUCP Recreation. We do a lot of stuff. We throw the FAQs. This was a big one. Big turnout. Nice day. What'd you think?
New Orleans is very hot and I sweat a lot here, but other than that, great time, great people, great show, good time. God bless.
Awesome. So, in the planning process for this, the TUCP Recreation came up with an idea for you to ride in on a horse for the show, and I don't know if that full message reached to you. It did?
I got that. Well, yesterday I was told by my booking agent, she was like, they want you to ride in on a horse. But then we got the email where it's like, it's probably not the safest thing. And, you know, I was like, oh, man, a horse, that'd be, like, amazing. That'd be great. But the thing is, I don't know how to ride a horse. And, like, if the horse went haywire and, like, you know, people could get injured. So that's why I haven't tried.
I mean, why would you not want to ride in on a horse? Let's be real. Okay.
We were thinking about having a trumpeter play, like, a cheesy tune. So when you come out on the horse, there'd be, like, a trumpeter, and you'd be like a king, you know, overseeing his peasants. Yeah.
Or even just a group of horses, and, like, they're all black except for yours, which would be a white one, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be really cool. Anything to say, Jack? Yeah.
Mine was the horse thing.
Yours was the horse thing? Okay, so here's a question. I'm sure you get asked a lot about Ode to Viceroy, which is like a song about a cigarette, and you get asked about that, I'm sure, a lot. But why Viceroy? When did that happen? When did you get really into Viceroys?
They're the cheapest smokes you can buy in Canada, or one of the cheapest brands. And it was actually a kid that I worked with at a grocery store in Montreal. He smoked Viceroy Blues, and I was like, yeah, that guy's pretty cool. His name is Danny. And and I was like, I'm going to start smoking Viceroys too. And I'd smoked them a little bit, you know. So I just started smoking them, and everyone was kind of like, why do you smoke those? And I really, you know, learned to love them. And I don't know. For me, it's funny because everybody in the States and like where you can't get Viceroys, they're like, oh God, like I gotta order some. Like they must be so good. But they're actually like so bad. And you know, kids always want to bum one off me and stuff, but I never have them because they don't sell them down here. So.
Yeah, I've never even seen a Viceroy in person.
The other thing about it is Viceroy used to be a very predominant cigarette brand. I think in like the '60s and early '70s in the States. Steve McQueen was the spokesperson. And he did all the ad campaigns and stuff. And I think it was one of the first filtered cigarettes in the States or something. But yeah, then it just like died out, and now it's just like budget brand in like Canada, you know, like East Asia, and like Eastern Europe. So yeah, it's like
You just gotta head over to Asia then, and you'll be swimming in Viceroys, drowning in Viceroys. So.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I thought you were talking like the hand of the king or whatever. You know, like isn't like a viceroy like deal with the king? And so I was like, that doesn't make sense because he wakes up early in the morning with a viceroy, like with the king's like hand. So I couldn't ever figure that out. And then I googled it. Yeah, and then I googled it. It was a cigarette.
That weird looking guy in Star Wars.
oh, Viceroy Palpatine.
Yeah, the weird looking guy in Star Wars. He's like, I can't remember his name, but he's like on the trade blockade vessel thing, and he's like got this weird hat, and he's like kind of like a fish-looking guy, but yeah, he's a viceroy.
It's like the Chinese racism.
Yeah, exactly, the completely like just caricaturize Chinese guy.
Like, cause you know, people like Viceroy. I just think Star Wars unless it's about the cigarette.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking when you said it.
Yeah, so moving on from Viceroys, I think we all here can agree that Salad Days totally rules. Yeah, it's like I think it's like a really cool progression from like what you were doing before. Have you given any thought to what you're doing next, recording wise? Are you gonna Are you gonna like be recording soon? Are you touring? What's your next move, really?
We just started touring Salad Days, so it's kind of like this is the period where, you know, people are like, oh, you have a new record. You know, it's not like people are like, when's the next stuff coming up? Yeah. So like I can kind of chill a little bit, but at the same time, I'm kind of going insane because, you know, maybe everybody else got it like, you know, 2 weeks ago or something, but I recorded like 6 months ago or 7 months ago. So for me, it's kind of like getting old already. But I mean, playing the songs live, we kind of waited till it came out, so that's still fresh. But no, I think I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna try some new things this time. I think it's like, cause I always record at home in a big chunk, but maybe I'm gonna try doing it on the road. I've never been able to do it before. We'll see. I don't know, but who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know.
So. Newt Gunray is the what? The Viceroy in Star Wars. Don't ever forget that. So at the end of your set, hopefully whoever is listening to this was at the set, but you closed with a Neil Young cover where you made everyone kneel down, which was really awesome. I've just knowing your past set list, you play a lot of covers. Why is that?
Before it was just kind of like we had this one section where there was a guitar solo and we'd all just take turns playing really bad guitar solos, and like Pierce would take a bass solo and Joe would do like some weird drum solo. And we did that for a long time, and then it evolved into like we do our solos and we do like 9 or 10 like stupid classic rock covers. And we did that for so long, and people started expecting it, and it was kind of like, this isn't fun for us anymore. It's like just kind of weird. So we stopped doing that, but I don't know. I mean, you know, the idea of doing an encore in the first place is like so weird to me. Yeah. Definitely. But like we get asked a lot in the States, especially. It's like we don't have to do an encore. Like in Europe, it's one thing because they're like, come on, like it's the custom. But here, it's like, you guys really want another song? Like, are you serious? So I mean, usually by the end of the set, it's like we played all the songs that I wrote that we were gonna play anyway. So we'll just do a Neil Young song now. I guess.
An encore now is just a formality where you kind of just like the band walks off the stage for a second and then comes back on. It's almost just like a waste of time. You're just kind of going through the motions, Yeah.
They trick you whether or not they're coming back or not. They're like, oh, we're not gonna come back, and then they come back.
I try and keep it where if they want it, then we'll do it. If they don't want it, I'm not going back out there. Come on, like what the fuck? That's crazy. You know? Oh, it's on the radio.
We'll bleep that out.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I don't know. Encores are ridiculous. I love. We've toured with a couple bands that are a little bit bigger, and they just have the calculated like the whole team is like, okay, come off, like give it 5, and go. It's like, geez, like this is ridiculous. And they do like a 9-song encore. It's like, holy crap, what the, you know?
Yeah.
Again, the F word. What's going on here?
So you mentioned Europe, just then saying that the crowds there are expecting it and they're very proper. Where would you say is your favorite place you've ever played, and just like even like best fans, best whatever, just overall your favorite place in the world to play? You've toured pretty extensively all over at this point.
Sarasota. That was all right actually for the first tour. I don't know. We just went down to South America. The kids down there are really crazy, but they're like really into it. So that was very cool. I don't know. I like doing the States. For me, it's either the show I know is gonna be like really crazy and fun, or we're gonna be in this place where it's like, holy crap, like we can go like eat a pigeon like in like Bangkok or something. So it's like, you know, I mean, it's one of the two. I don't know. I like playing New York. I like playing down in Sao Paulo. I like playing Rio de Janeiro not Rio, no. Buenos Aires, that was dope. Yeah. Australia was also really great. I really like Australia. And Europe is always, you know, up and down. Depends. People drink a lot there.
I've always kind of wondered this: when you go somewhere where the language like isn't English, do people still know your songs and yell along even though they don't speak the language?
In like Latin-based language countries, yeah, but in saying like, you know, Shanghai and Beijing, it was like there's like an expat culture, so they'd be like what's up, like I know what a cigarette is, but yeah, a lot of the kids were like not as much. It was kind of crazy, but I mean in China, tons of kids still speak English, and I don't know, we haven't really run into anywhere that's like help us, like I can't communicate. You know? I don't know, but it's definitely less in those places. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you can give this away, but you know how you have that special pack coming out where you pay like $100 and you get like a record per month? What is the thing that comes at the end? Because it says at the end there's something special. You know what I'm talking about?
Special.
Yeah, it's special. Like you said in an interview or something that it was going to be like a Coke mirror. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, that comes.
Something else? Or was that something different? Oh yeah.
Oh, the Coke mirror comes in the box set of the new album.
Okay.
But I wanted to do like a real like cool like Grateful Dead style one, like, you know, like old school, like nice screen printed in like wood,
Yeah.
you know. Instead, it kind of came out looking like 15-year-olds are gonna hang it in their locker. So
We can do a round
do their
two.
makeup before math class. You know?
yeah, it's like kind of, but they have to like dodge around this like weird print of me like making a weird face. That's
We can try again next
But
album.
yeah, I don't know, for the 7-inch club, I don't really even know. I mean, it wasn't even my idea in the first place. Like, I mean, the label was kind of like, we should do this, and I was like, you'll print like a record for me every month? Like, are you out of your mind? It's gonna cost so much money. They're like, yeah, don't worry, we'll make it back. I'm like, okay, but I know it's cool. I mean, you know, if we have any live recordings and stuff, then that works. But as far as the secret, you know, surprise at the end,
It's a surprise for you too.
well, I mean, maybe we
Surprise
just.
for
I think
everyone.
it's like Capture Tracks is maybe saying that they've got it all sorted out and planned, but we really have nothing planned. So
Surprise.
yeah.
You're paying for the prize.
Well, I was just wondering what your favorite song to play is of all the songs. Sup, camera?
Of all the songs live, well, I mean, any of the new songs. It's funny because we're like, you know, we don't like, you know, rehearse ever, and we like learn the songs like for a couple days, and then we were like, yeah, let's go to South America and try them. But I mean, it's some of the songs are coming together still. Some of them are still like definitely really shaky and stuff. But just playing any of the new songs, especially the ones that are like already starting to take form, like live, is like, I really am enjoying doing this because we haven't really done it, and you know, it's nice to see the reaction and stuff. But I don't know. It's interesting for me if the sound is like really good, or like, you know, if we've like been able to set it up properly. Like doing the keyboard songs is interesting for me because I've never played a keyboard on a stage before.
They
So
sound
it's
good.
like, huh?
They sound good.
Yeah, I like those keyboards, but it's like, you know, just a new thing. You know, it's funny. Like like just not having like something to hide behind. It's kind of like, hey, like what's up, you know? And it's interesting. Yeah, I like it.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to you. You stayed after the show for like 30 minutes and talked to every single person who wanted to talk to you. And for someone with like a really rabid fan base, I think it's really, really cool that you do that.
That's how you get the rabid fan base. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
You get it's all about the selfies. And before too, the lineup before the show was like an hour and a half long. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Who would
But,
you get a selfie with? Who's your like favorite person? If you could get a selfie with one musician, who would
Elton John.
That's it. Selfie with Elton John, with Mac DeMarco. Make it happen one day.
Yeah. Well,
Come on, America.
Sorry. Sir Elton.
Sir Elton John. Okay, I think we're about out of time if no one has anything else to thank you so much, Mac, for coming and playing. Once again, that was Mac DeMarco. I don't know when this interview is going to air. This is just after the show. It's April 25th at like 7 p.m. Hope you were there.
Air it on the 30th. Ask me why.
Aired on the 30th. I'm going to ask him why.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Mac DeMarco. And it is two people here's dad's birthdays. What's happening? Jack's dad, Remy's dad, and Mac DeMarco have the same birthday. Expect their birthday party coming up. And it's the day Hitler killed himself. We'll leave you with that. Okay, you're listening to WTUL 91.5 New Orleans. Here's Mac saying goodbye to you.
God bless. Have a great day. Peace.
Hi, Mac DeMarco here. You're listening to Sounding Off with Siobhán. Have a great listen and a great day, and see you in the afterlife.
Right, so yeah, Mac DeMarco and his band. How did you find that gig?
How did I find the gig? It was okay. I'm kind of sick. I'm not very sick, kind of sick. Yeah, I'm going to say it was fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah.
First time you played in the UK was like 2012 in London, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what has changed for you guys since then?
We play huge places now. And a lot of kids come to our shows dressed in Tyler the Creator's clothing brand. And I don't know, yeah. Play, it's not, I don't, we don't play more, but it's like every time we come, the crowd is like twice as big, which is really weird. But it's cool, too.
Yeah. I've heard that you've got some Irish connections in the band. Like, you are not the only Mac in the room.
Pier-
I know. Well, I was chatting to
yeah,
Pierce.
I think this guy is all, maybe, what are you?
I'm Mac. I'm a Mick.
You're a Mick.
I'm a McGarry.
Yeah.
McMurray, McGarry.
I'm white, but I'm French-Irish. Bernard.
You look way too pretty to be Irish.
I was gonna say
Nobody
the
in Ireland has that kind of skin or that hair. You look like a Viking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Name's Andy.
The interview's over.
Yo, this interview's over. Thank you.
But yeah. So no Irish influences in your music then.
Yeah. Michael Flannery's Riverdance. Flannery.
Oh yeah, the dancer.
Riverdance.
Oh yeah, I know Riverdance.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You know he's American, right?
Yeah, but what about Michael Shannon?
Who?
Michael Shannon,
And his covers of Velvet Underground.
the actor.
Really?
He's
What about
he's
you
of
too?
Irish
What
descent.
about Protex? What about Thin Lizzy?
They're Irish?
Lizzie? I've got Thin Lizzy tattoo. My only tattoo is a Thin Lizzy.
I
Oh.
love Thin Lizzy.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm
Pierce,
obsessed with-
Siobhán Pierce.
Oh, we're kindred spirits, Pierce.
What about this one? What about V. Morrison? Wait.
Yeah, but
Come
Thin
in.
Lizzy. Seems sort of- What is this?
Phil Lynott. Solo.
Oh no, not this stuff.
No.
No.
This song's chill.
Nothing. Oh, not this. Oh.
You don't like this?
Not his solo stuff. Not like post 1982. Come on, that stuff makes me really cringe. That's so funny. I haven't heard that in ages. Oh man.
Once again. Anyway, sorry.
Wow, that was lovely. What's the name of that tune?
Just a little water.
Just a little.
I think it's called
Which I don't even listen to those albums, but anyway. Yeah, so yeah, how's Primavera? And you've got field day tomorrow.
Primavera was crazy. Yeah, it was cool. I wish we could have hung out more, but we left. Field day should also be crazy. I've been to Primavera before, but the only UK festival we played is Green Man, I think.
Yeah.
So, and I think Green Man's pretty different from the rest of the other ones. So, I don't know. I'm excited to go to Field Day. It'll be cool.
And you know you're in Ireland in September?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be good. I will also be at that festival. Electric Picnic's very, very nice. So make sure you guys put some time aside to chill. that
Cool,
week,
yeah.
because it'll be
Pierce and I are
really
coming to Dublin a week before.
Oh.
We're gonna be in Ireland for the whole week.
good. Do it. I'll show you guys around. It'll be epic.
Yeah.
And the weather will be nice then too, unlike most of the time. But yeah, how have you found sort of reaction to Salad Days since it came out? Do you think it's been well received?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's been out for a while now, like more than a year, I guess. But yeah, I mean, as far as I mean, I was really shocked when people liked the album before, when they liked 2. I was like, what the? And then shows started getting really big, but we rode that for a long time. And then I remember the Salad Days stuff, kind of people were like, oh, here comes another album. But at that point, I wasn't really paying as much attention to like the reviews and stuff because it kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shows just kept getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's cool. I don't know.
I was introduced to you guys by a friend and his band. They're called Melty Brains. I think you'd like them. But they showed me a few clips of you guys like doing covers and stuff like that, which is kind of what people have gotten to know you.
Yeah. All those shenanigans.
Yeah. How did that all come about? You seem like you have a lot of fun up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that we never practice, and we're not like ace like Juilliard musicians, so we just fuck around as much as possible and have fun. It's about having fun too. So if we think it's funny, then we do it. Once we, but it's kind of like it gets to the point where if the kids are coming to the shows and all they want to see is the cover medley, then it's not fun for us anymore. So then we stop doing it. So it's just it's just fun for, just having fun, I guess. I don't know.
And influences, I know you've got old sort of bluesy guitarist influences, I'd imagine, but then...
Yeah, I like, I don't know. I like, the Beatles, I'm the huge Rolling Stones guy. Beatles, Kinks, Harry Nilsson, that kind of like songwriting stuff. I like a lot of Japanese music, like Yellow Magic Orchestra and the offshoots of that.
find like that sound that you get, that sort of whimsical sort of?
I don't know. I think because I've always kind of been trying to write whimsical, whatever, breezy, whatever. That's just the way the songs come out. But then the new sound on the last couple albums, it's because I started listening to that guy Conan Moccasin, and I was like, oh, chorus? That's an interesting effect. And now it's all over everything. So, I like the Smiths as well. Yeah.
Oh,
We're in
good
Manchester.
band. Yeah, of course. You haven't mentioned the Smiths. And yeah, you're playing London.
It's like very evident.
I like the Smiths. You think so, really?
Yeah, he sounds so much like.
Smiths are wicked.
The influence is heavy. In music.
I like the guitar in the Smiths.
Do you think you'd like Morrissey?
Salad Days is like how soon is now, like for sure. For sure.
But yeah, no, how would you describe? I know this whole jazz thing has been put on you guys, but how would you describe your music to somebody who's never heard of you?
Well, that's what I usually say. I usually say jazz, and they're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And I'm like, "Well, doesn't mean anything." So now you got to go listen to it, don't you? But I don't know. It's like we're like a guitar band, I guess. I think that's the best way to put it. Especially at a festival like this, where it's like I think maybe we're the only people playing guitars today. It's like kind of very strange, but it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's also weird to me to think that like a lot of the people that attend a festival like this don't really. I guess I don't know. Guitar bands aren't really like a big, unless you're like Kings of Leon, you know. It's like it's not. But that we're not that kind of guitar band. We're like a different kind of guitar band. So I don't know. It's funny that something that was the staple for like, you know, decades and decades is now like this like weird, oh, this is a good guitars? What the hell? You know, it's kind of weird. Nobody's a guitar band. I write love songs. And that's that. So.
And the new album, when's that coming out?
August 7th.
And is there some sort of mini album coming out between now and then?
That's the one that's coming out. The new album, like a full length, I don't have anything written yet. But the mini album, which is confusing people whether it's an EP or I'm gonna call it an EP, but that's out on August 7th.
Will you be allowed to play us some in September when we see you at Electric Picnic?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Play some new stuff. Well, yeah. How did you guys all get to know each other? You're all from Canada.
Except Andy, he's from Florida.
Andy's from Florida.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are from.
Yeah, I met Pierce and Joe in Vancouver because I moved there when I finished high school, and I started playing shows there a lot, and they just had started playing shows too in their band Walter TV. So I met them there, and then when I went on tour for the first couple times, I'd always play with Andy because he lived in Montreal. That's where he went to school. Yeah, and I've just known him for like 5-6 years, something like that.
I mean, you guys at the moment quite scattered. You say you never practice, but does it work out when you guys get together?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just that me and Andy live in New York, and those two live in LA. So it's kind of like both sides of the country. But for example, for the new album, we're all gonna they can all stay at my house for like 2 weeks, and we'll do that, and then hopefully we won't have to practice again until I have another album. Then boom, and then you're ready.
Is it true you record everything on your own, and then the band tour with you? How did that come about? Did you know Walter TV were doing that alongside your stuff, and then you thought, oh, yeah, get those guys to come on tour with me? Or?
Joe, well, I mean, because my band was never really. Like even my old band I never really had like solid members. It was like me on a guitar and someone playing floor tom snare. I never had like a band because it's always just been me recording at home, and then I'm like, yo, come play this show. So in Vancouver, Pierce used to play with me sometimes, Joe would play with me sometimes. So by the time I was like making these records that ended up getting put out in the States on the label we're on now, I was like, well, damn, like it's like they're making vinyl of this. Like I guess I need like a real band. Instead of just, asking people to play all the time. So I was like, none of these guys, Andy actually joined a year ago or so, but the original three, it's like, none of you guys have jobs. Like, do you want to be in my band, go on tour? They were like, yeah, okay, whatever. So that was that. And then one of the guys is a big pussy, so he quit, and then now Andy is in the band. He's not a pussy, I love Pete. Peter is his name.
I can always take that.
Nah, I don't care. He would probably agree, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Are you, how is the tour going at the moment? Is it getting to the stage now where it's lagging a bit and you're ready to go home, or?
No, I mean, I'm ready to not be sick anymore.
Oh.
but I can't really control that. But no, I mean, this tour wasn't even that long. I think we did it's probably 10 or 12 shows altogether, but there's a lot of traveling and stuff, a lot of weird late nights. But yeah, so I just kind of never got over the jet lag, and then you kind of get a little ill.
That doesn't bother you?
I mean, it bothers me when I get, because now I'm all fucked up, but no, I don't know. I could keep going for months, but this week where I get sick would just be the worst part of the whole thing, but it's okay.
You guys seem like you just would truck on and I don't know, it seems very fun, sort of fun-loving, easygoing, very chill.
Yeah, I don't take it that seriously because it shouldn't be taken that seriously because the people that take it seriously are usually weenies, so I don't.
So there's no big grand plan or anything? Is there somewhere you want to see yourself in the future? Or is it just, are you just sort of appreciating it for what it is?
I kind of take it as like a part-time job because, I never went to school, I never studied anything, I never had a real career or anything, and now this is what has been my hobby for the past 10, 15 years, is making me more money than I thought I would ever make. So it's kind of when you're working a part-time job, and I'm going to do this till my boss fires me for some reason or another. So it's kind of the same where it's I'm going to keep doing it if I can keep doing it, but if the kids stop giving a shit, then I'll still do it because, first of all, it's a hobby, but then I won't be making that much money anymore. So, but it doesn't really matter.
Be a working musician again.
Yeah. Working musician is a crazy thing to, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to do it because I like doing it.
When did you start kind of getting into music, playing guitar and stuff?
I think I was 14 maybe, 13. Just picked up a guitar and my friend was like, yeah, look, it's easy. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, I got to be better than everybody else. So then I took lessons and stuff. But didn't start really playing in bands until I was 16 or 17, 18. Then I really started playing in bands a lot. But
what kind of stuff were you listening to back then?
Same stuff as today. The Beatles, Kinks, a lot of 90s indie rock, like Pavement, and listen to the Smiths a lot. Yola Tango, My Bloody Valentine, that kind of stuff. I don't know, like cool guy record store stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're on a totally different tip. But at the time, it was you don't know about this band. So young, you're an idiot. I'm like, okay, well, show me.
You're starting to use in this album a bit more synth, a bit more electronics and stuff
I think that's what everybody's waiting for, because they're like, yeah, Chamber of Reflection, but I'm not really interested in making a synth album where it's whoop, 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 and it's got this boom, boom. I don't give a shit. I don't like that kind of music. So it's more keyboard, but it doesn't sound, it's not and they sound even less like synthesizers than the synthesizers on Chamber of Reflection. It's just kind of my best substitute for a piano, because I wish I was just playing a piano, but yeah, it is synthesizer, but it's still just songs. I think when people think synth album, then it's yo, whoa, he's taking it in direct. It's not I'm just playing a different instrument a little bit, so I don't know. And I'm not very good at it, so I'm learning. Then when I get really good, then the DeMarco Synth Odyssey. I don't know.
Amazing.
I don't know if it would be good.
You're in equipment heaven, man. You can just go and you can fill your room now with some crazy stuff.
It's already full. But I gotta stop buying it, and I gotta learn how to play it. That's the real trick.
Is that where you're at right now? When you go home, you've got all these nice toys to play with.
Yeah, it's great, but I don't know. I don't spend money on new clothes. I don't spend money on nice food. I don't spend money on, anything. I just buy all this shit. So it's kind of
I heard you bought a boat for your birthday.
Yeah, but the thing, I can tell people I bought a boat, but it's the cheapest, smallest little boat possible. But it's still a boat. So, but yeah, it's a cute little sailing dinghy. Yeah.
I'll ask these guys about Walter TV. Who's our Walter TV guys? We got You've all played in it before, haven't you?
We had probably our biggest attended show ever in Perth, Australia in January. There were probably 700 kids in this club, and Joe was asleep before the show and he didn't come.
There were 750 people.
Yeah, easy. And then Pierce and I showed up with no drummer, and we were like, yeah, like willy-nilly. We were banding about everything. We just bandied about like egos and like whatever we were doing, thinking we could do it without a drummer. And then we showed up. And then we said we'd do it like just bass and guitar, me and Pierce. And then Pierce, who's like kind of like a general songwriter in the band, decided that I can't do this. Andy, sit down. I'll do it alone. He started playing alone, and then he said, I can't do this alone. Andy come up, and then he said, who can play drums? Biggest show we ever played, like 700 cap, easy, packed. And this fucking teenager named George from Western Australia jumps on stage and goes, oh, I can play drums. And
he smashed the kit.
What did he do?
Something about George.
Smashed the kit, and everyone was dancing and grooving.
Yeah. In a good way, you smashed the kid.
Yeah.
Every song Pierce just turned around and was like,
you'll find the footy of me jamming up.
We did kraut rock for an hour.
When did that happen?
Nice.
Yeah.
How would you describe the music?
he writes the songs.
I write the songs with my friends Simon and Joe. Joe, how would you describe the music?
High energy, full on.
High energy and raw.
We go for a lot of natural expression. And try and get to the root of consciousness.
Well, where can we go? Well, at the online.
All the songs
Are you
you
guys
sing on
playing
from now
gigs
on?
this year, or is it all
Standing right next to you.
No, we're going to tour a bunch. We have an album coming out in the end of June or early July now. I think it changed because Jack White bought a bunch of record pressing plants, and he's a total piece of shit, and I'm going to kill him if I ever meet him in person. I'm just kidding. About the record pressing thing, but I hate Jack White. I don't hate him personally because I don't know him personally, but if I did, I'd probably hate his ass.
I share the same last name as Jack White. My name is Andy White, and if I ever meet him, I'd probably eat his ass.
Yeah, his white ass.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned Mac in an interview, and I was in the room, and I kicked him in the jaw. I said, "You shut your shitty mouth."
I heard that Jack White likes to put baby calves in the stockade in the center of town, and he puts egg whites all over their faces, and he tells them, no big deal, music is sacred, no big deal.
Jack White's been quoted saying music is sacred, and I say, well, why don't you play any?
Oh! Why don't you do it, Jack?
I heard that Jack White walked into a room once, and as soon as he walked in, everyone said, "Oh man."
That must have been really harsh.
It was harsh.
Yeah, Jack White was, a man among the scene and all the gigs when he was doing White Stripes, and now everyone's like, what is Jack White, and why does he bother doing anything at all? It all sucks ass.
Jack White's an enemy of mine.
That stuff is the best stuff ever. What's it called? Ooh.
I have one more thing to say about Jack White. Jack White was born of the same mortal flesh and blood that all of us were, and experiences the same hardships we all do as humans. And I'm sure he's as challenged as any of us. We may all be reaching some sort of like portal when we try to like break through our senses and trying to like not feel retarded, or like, when I say retarded, I mean like restrained. That's how I use the word retard. That's how I use it.
There we go. Aww. And tell everyone how excited you are about Ireland in September.
Oh,
You guys are doing.
so excited. Andy and I is going to be there, and we're going to rob people's bikes and hop over farm walls, and
Give the phone number.
Andy's phone number is 1407 227. Text me if you got the balls, hang out with a couple of crazy motherfuckers.
We want to travel hike. Sorry, Pierce and I would like to travel, like around Ireland, and like maybe hike a bit, walk around. Also, like like party in Ireland and Dublin.
Can I bring you guys? I feel like I was sent here today to be your tour guide. That was
Yeah, why not?
I need to show you guys around.
Sure.
Yeah?
Well, you got my number. It's on the fucking record.
If you enjoy laying in horse shit, rubbing fecal matter all over your buddies. Manure. Or, literally hopping around fields for hours on end until you're too tired to even walk anymore. Andy and I will be your guys.
Oh, and you'll be covered in midgy bites and everything. Oh, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Hello, my name is Andy White. You're listening to Siobhán on Mixcloud. And you know what? I don't care who you are or where you are or how you feel. Float and accept yourself and forgive yourself. You're okay. Peace. I love you.
How long are you guys staying here for?
I think we leave tomorrow. We're going to Paris tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Where had you come from?
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just finished doing some touring over there, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last time we played, I guess, was LA, and I live in New York, so we went back and then a couple days over here.
Do you enjoy like the London crowd, or like I don't know? Are there any parallels with London and New York essentially, or?
London and New York are like the two cities where we probably play the biggest shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, it's not like there's pressure or anything, but it's like the big New York show, all the big London show.
Yeah.
So it's always exciting to play them. I don't know. And your kids go, it's
yeah.
It's kind of, both are crazy. Some other places are, like the west coast of the States is like where kids go fucking insane, but like,
yeah.
But kids are crazy at the New York shows, kids are crazy at the London shows.
Do you enjoy the kind of, I don't know, like, the dense nature of your cities? Like, are you a city boy essentially? Like, now, and you're kind of, I don't know, you're mid-20s or whatever, do you enjoy the denser, more like kind of urban cities, or?
I think that as I've gotten older,
yeah.
I've started not liking it as much. Especially now that, if I go to like neighborhoods, like hip neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And there's either going to be somebody that wants to take a photo with me or somebody that's like, there's that DeMarco house.
Oh my God,
so it's like, I'd rather just stay the fuck away from that shit.
Yeah, when you were growing up or whatever, did you foresee that would have been kind of cool to be like for people to spot you as known as this musician? And as you kind of like living in it day to day, do you find that slightly like a bit frustrating, a bit annoying, or?
Well, I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm not going to meet anybody, but, it's just funny that there are, like, concentrated areas, especially in big cities, where it's like that will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, too, it's just, like, just the density of a place like, New York, like, even in Brooklyn or wherever. It's, like, for me, one of my main anxieties through my whole, life as a musician is, like, having a place where I can play the drums and not getting shit about it.
Right.
Like, I've had so many fucking neighbors yell at me through my life. And it's like, dude, just let me fucking play the drums, please. So I'm pretty much, like, I'm a huge fan of living in a house, having a little bit of space, not paying an absurd amount of money for, like, a shoebox apartment. That pretty much doesn't, I mean, I've figured it out in New York City, but it almost doesn't exist, but I'll probably move to, like, a small town or something at some point.
Retire at age 30.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, well, congrats on releasing your new record. You must have been a bit nervous releasing that. How do you reckon it's gone so far?
I don't know. I think it's good. I mean, I wouldn't say I was. This time around, like the last time with the second full-length album, that was a little more nerve-wracking. I was like, oh god. But this time I was just like, I don't give a fuck what the blogs think this time. I don't give a fuck. Like, I know people are going to buy it. I know, hopefully my friend, it's not like a huge leap in any weird direction, so I don't think anybody's going to be shocked enough to be like, this sucks, or like, this, what the fuck, man? So I was just kind of like, enjoy it. And, I don't really know how it's been going. I mean, the tour's been going good. But
I mean, you guys have been selling out shows, and I mean, that's definitely a good thing, so I'd say it's been going pretty good.
There you go.
Do you feel like, because you're kind of like getting a bit of traction now, and you've released some really great records, and you feel like additional pressure to like make records for the people, for your listeners, or do you feel that you still have
your own creative freedom to like bang out weird shit that you just love doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never really pay attention to, but like, yeah, it's just a weird thing because I mean, you are making something that inherently is going to be seen by all these people.
Yeah.
And in my case, I already have a built-in fan base that I'm anticipating and waiting.
Mm.
But I think that the reason, like the thing, like the fans that I do have built in, I think kind of would just go along with whatever I want to do. Like they kind of would, you know, maybe not assume, but like they know about me, right? So I think that the weird part when people start kind of like dropping the ball and making weird shit is when they start writing for the fans that they don't have yet.
Okay.
I think they're like, these new, like, I gotta write a fucking radio pop hit. That'll get these new people.
Right.
But I don't really give a shit about that. So yeah, I mean, I feel completely in control of like the creative aspect of the music. So and it's not like, you know, I'm on a small little indie label. It's not like they're like, this isn't fucking, you know, radio announce. So like, do whatever I want, pretty much.
I think we've touched on it before, but like speaking about editorial and like music journalism and all that kind of stuff, do you like pay attention to like reviews and write-ups, or I guess it's like an unfortunate realism of the music industry that, you know, these people are writing whether you like them or not about you, and like, I don't know, what's your opinion on all that? Do you tend to like send a blind eye to it, or do you like to?
I mean, it depends. I don't read the reviews really anymore. Or the write-ups that much. But I mean, maybe sometimes I will, depending on like what it's like. If it's in something funny nowadays, like, you know, I think they gave me like an article in like Playboy or something. What am I doing here? You know, it's like so that kind of stuff is funny. But as far as like the Pitchfork article or like the anime write-up or whatever, like, you know, I like someone will be like, they were nice, or like, you know, they gave me a good score. It's like, that's fine. Like, I don't care. But the thing for me that's most interesting is before. Like, 'cause my album's leaked now. Like, I don't know, I'm just unlucky, I guess. That's the most interesting thing for me. Because the blogs they review after the release date, but if the kids have the album before the release date, and before some blog tells them how to feel about it, then you get like you know, that's when you get a real scope of if your real fans actually like it or not. Right. Especially with this album, I put my fucking address at the end, so kids are coming over being like, hey, and then they tell me exactly how they feel about the album right to my face before it's even out. I was like, okay, cool.
I reckon that's a much better approach, because I think, this is my personal opinion, but you have these like blogs and forums and editorials that just tell your listeners what to think about your music, and I reckon it's an unnecessary loop. And for some reason, people, they have like huge followings and they're so powerful, but I think they're almost like an unnecessary step that just kind of happens. You know?
I mean, I think it's funny because it is, you know, it's weird that the tastemakers exist, for example. But I mean, thanks to, you know, websites like Pitchfork and I mean, like back when nobody knew what my music was or anything, like that's what bridges the gap, where it's like, you know, it really kind of thrusts you out not into like the mainstream or something, but just like into like
loneliness.
Yeah, just on a smaller scale than like, you know, like a huge pop acts or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy how it works. I don't know.
Right. So kind of talking about music making, like how has your music changed from like Salad Days to another one? What has it?
I think that's I don't know. I mean, for me, I think that the things that changed aren't the things that people would have gone like, oh, you know, like for me, it's like the songwriting has changed, my lyrical approach has changed, you know, and maybe the structure and the way I you know, present it and stuff. But, you know, it's not like I'm like playing a brand new like crazy guitar scale or something, or like, you know, the drums are, so it's, I think when people, you know, there's a lot more keyboard too, I think, which is another main thing. But I think people were kind of anticipating, like, its next album's going to be like fucking 12 Chamber of Reflections. You know? It's just like, no, it's not. You know, it's not.
Do you feel the need to change out your music style, or is it more of a kind of organic progression? Like, I don't know, would you be happy writing another album or another EP based off kind of the styles of your previous album? Or are you interested in like changing up your sleeves? Or?
I mean, I do. I like to keep it fresh for me. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's happened now, like after 2 and then Salad Days and another one, it's kind of like, I've found this like, it's kind of like, it's my own style or it's like, it's my, it's for me at this point now, it's like my progression into songwriting and into, trends. So I don't know. I mean,
okay.
I do feel like things are changing and progressive, but it's not like I'm doing like a fucking EDM album or something. It's still a guitar album. It sounds like I made it. So.
So like, what's your creative approach? Like, do you have one that's kind of set in stone, or do you kind of I don't know, change it based on like something that kind of inspires you, or like, what's your creative process? Is it like logical, or is it just kind of flexible?
Definitely flexible. I mean, I kind of just. I don't know where the songs come from. Usually I just sit down and they just come, and instead of. I don't think about it. It's not like I'm going around for a week like, I got to write a song about this. It's just kind of like, but there you go. And I mean, it depends. Sometimes I'll be playing on a guitar, sometimes I'll do a keyboard or a piano. But I don't know. It's kind of like, it's funny for me too because I come from a generation of like home recorder, do it yourself, like. Young guy play all the instruments. So another instrument for me is the tape machine. It's kind of like I'm playing that as the same as I'm playing all the other instruments. I'm like, just watching it come together. I never really know what is going to happen. Sometimes it turns out. So lucky me. Sometimes it doesn't. But
okay.
I don't know.
So this is one for kind of I guess the tech audience. But what kind of hardware do you use? Like what's like your kit essentially? So what
for recording?
Yeah, no, in terms of like what instruments do you use? Like,
the new record, what did I use? I had a drum set, bought a fancy snare, bought some big hi-hats, bought a nice cymbal.
Yeah. So pretty stock standard stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that, and then I'll use, what do I use? I bought this new Stratocaster. 1970. Pretty nice. I feel like a dad buying the expensive stuff. So that's nice. I used some old Mustang bass, my roommate's bass. That was nice. Tascam 388 to the big old 1/4-inch tape machine, flatbed tape machine. It's got the mixer built in. Great machine, good sound. That West Coast sound, baby.
West Coast sound.
That's everybody. Because like the OCs and Ty Segal and these guys, they all use that. So he's like, West Coast sound. What else? I don't know. Juno 60, a lot of Juno 60 DX7.
Yeah.
The synthesizers on this album.
Nice.
And, I don't know.
That's pretty much it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. What's that? Yamaha E1005.
Okay.
That's the rack delay that I like.
Are you trying not to give away your secrets, or?
No, I mean, I just don't really use that much stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I have one of those Oasis Microverb 4s. I use that for some stuff.
Yeah.
Yamaha. I use Space Echoes for the effects at times.
Yeah.
Pretty much, though. I mean, it's just like, you just put a mic in front of something, you play the instrument, and boom, and you got a record. So
Nice.
it's not that many secrets to be had.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is like kind of wrapping up a little bit now, but I don't know, what are your plans for the future? Are you happy just like making tunes and traveling around, or do you want to like branch out into other areas and other creative projects, or you just...
I mean, I just kind of, my whole vibe is just to take things as they come. So if something, interesting does, crop up in the future, then maybe I'll try it out. Be it, I don't know, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Or like a collaboration, music or whatever. Who knows? But I'm not prepared to seek it out. I'm just gonna
roll with it,
I'm just gonna do what we do. See, make it happen.
Okay, thanks for your time, man. Thanks for talking.
How you doing, first of all? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Where are you right now? Are you in Washington or somewhere like that?
I'm in our van parked out front of a GameStop. My bass player, my keyboard player.
Okay.
Trying to buy some games for the Xbox 360 we got in the whip.
Oh, you have an Xbox 360 in your van.
Yeah, we're rock stars now.
How does that feel? How does it feel to be a rock star by those accounts?
I don't know. I don't play video games that much anymore, so I guess you could say it sucks. I guess I don't know.
What game are you hoping to get with this?
I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see. Oh, my guitarist just let me know that John and Pierce just quit the band and they're going to start working at GameStop. So.
They just got offered a job, right?
Yeah.
That's good. So you're coming to Humboldt County pretty soon. That's where I'm calling you from. From KHSU. And you grew up in British Columbia on the Pacific Northwest. And I guess I wanted to ask you if you had any sort of preconceived notions or what your experiences have been with Humboldt County, if any.
I don't really know. I mean, I have no clue really, but I'm assuming it's nice, it's sunny, close to the water.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to be. It's a couple places on the tour are going to be like full-blown winter style, but I'm assuming that we're not going to have that issue there.
No, not at all. Not really.
There you go. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's pretty temperate here. It kind of remains the same sort of temperature all year round.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And I noticed too that your booking agent Michelle Cable from Penat, she grew up here actually.
Yeah, she did.
Is that why you're coming up here?
I think partially, yeah. She's like she's gonna come out and see her mom and stuff. It's gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool, nice, perfect. Well, we're super excited to have you here. I'm calling you from we're a public radio station here, and I have to say that you've probably noticed this. You're huge on the college radio circuit.
Are you a radio guy? I know on your debut record, Rock and Roll Nightclub, you kind of had those reoccurring themes throughout, where you did the IDs, those fake IDs. Do you listen to radio a lot?
Yeah, I like to listen to the radio. I like, it's like kind of like, I don't know. I've always worked, before I was, when I was working jobs, I wasn't just doing music. Like, it was always kind of like for the most part, it would be labor work. And they'd have like the classic rock station on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that. And now in my car, I listen to, CBS in New York, 101.1.
Right,
it's kind of like, it's sort of the classic rock station, but it's not really, but it's like, Scotland, they play like the Bee Gees, and they play like the disco stuff. So yeah, man, I like the radio.
Nice. Good. So growing up in Canada, we'll go back to the Pacific Northwest. Are you guys just breeding great musicians? What's going on with that? Can you talk about this weird, resurgence or this kind of Canadian invasion that's happening in the last 15 or so years that you're definitely a part of? I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I mean, Canada's always had really good bands, even, when I was growing up, even and now. But, I don't know. I think the thing is, like, with us especially, like, we were lucky where, a record label in the States was like, hey, what's up? You guys want to come down here? And we're like, okay, because we tried, I play the States every once in a while, to really small shows. It was a lot of fun, we tried touring a lot, but we never got a visa or anything. It was, like, kind of sketchy to go down. It was hard for everybody. But yeah, now, I mean, like, we got lucky. Now we're able to, like, be like, oh, you guys should check these other bands that we're, like, friends with up there. But yeah, I don't know. I think the main thing is it's just, like, a lot of bands, even, my old band, I used to tour back and forth across Canada a lot. And the shows were great there, but then as soon as we try and go down in the States, it was, like, pretty difficult. I think it's just hard to kind of bridge the gap, but not for everybody, but for some people.
Cool. Thank you. So you record everything in analog. Do you want to touch on that? I know it's obviously conscious. Do you ever regret? Do you ever see people kind of using the easy way out with using computers? And do you ever feel like, oh man, I could make something so much quicker? Or is this just pure analog because you appreciate the sound and the kind of cumbersomeness of that?
I like what it does to the sound, but also it's just what I kind of learned to use. So for me, it's like first nature, sort of. And I see people use the computer and stuff. And I've used the computer a little bit, but I just don't really know what I'm doing. People are like, you got to get the right plug in. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I have no idea.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, with the tape machine, like I just kind of plug stuff in. Sounds all right. Like no problem. I don't know. It's just the way of, and it's another thing about it too. Is like looking up this old weird gear and like buying it. It kind of becomes this like fetish thing, and
Totally.
like buying like old weird racks and like strange pedals, and so it's fun for me.
Yeah, definitely. You can't go dumpster diving or go to a thrift store and find like a weird VT plugin or something. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The internet's such a weird thing like that. Yeah. You guys are on the road a lot, obviously. Have you ever come across anything sort of cosmic, any extraterrestrial kind of things like that?
We saw a reptilian at a Pukkelpop festival in where is that? Where's Pukkelpop again? That's in outside Brussels in Belgium. He was playing in a band. I won't tell you which band, but definitely a shapeshifter.
Right on. Also touring, you must come across like so many different types of people, different cultures, obviously. What's your favorite weird slang word you've come across just traveling about?
Weird slang word.
Or some kind of saying or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like the stuff we hear in Australia. Australia has so much crazy slang.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's hard.
Okay. Okay.
What is it? Maybe they call sprinkles hundreds and thousands. That's nice.
Hundreds
I
of
could
thousands?
do some of the swear word ones. That's a little inappropriate, I guess.
Yeah. Some, curse words probably are acceptable in the U.S. compared to there. Maybe we probably don't even know what some of them mean or that they are swear words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're coming up at the end of August, or at the end of October, rather. Are you a big Halloween person? Do you like Halloween? Is that something you...
Yeah. Well, I like it. I always kind of overthink it, and I'm like, oh, it's the great side of my life, and I kind of always just blow it. But but it's nice to be able to play a show or like go to a show on Halloween, because then it's all set up for you. But we're actually, I think we're in Vancouver on Halloween, so we're gonna do that up.
What, are you guys dressing up?
I think that because it's gonna be us and Alex Calder. Still, he's touring with us. And we've decided that both bands everyone is going to dress up as Darth Maul. So it's going to be like 12 Darth Mauls.
Are you excited for the new Star Wars?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for it myself. It's going to be good. Another question, Halloween related, would be if someone were to dress like Mac DeMarco, what would be the costume choice there?
People have done it before. They put a baseball cap on, maybe like a piece of black tape to make a gap or something, and a flannel. It's pretty easy.
Maybe some polo in there, some Vans. Yeah.
Could be.
Do you ever find yourself competitive in music? It's kind of a weird thing that people have compared, where I think I heard Brian Wilson say that he listened to Phil Spector and then was just like, I have to make music like that. Do you ever feel that way with other artists?
I felt that way before, yeah, sometimes. But I think that now, I think that quantifying music that way, where it's like, this is better than this or that's better, it's kind of like a waste of time.
Totally.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't try to, but I think what ends up happening is maybe I'll hear something, and I guess you could call it that. I don't know about competitive, but it's like, that's where like inspiration comes from a lot of the time. You're like, oh, like that's cool. I want to do something like that, you know. But it can wander into the the area of like ripping someone off, or like or like being like, oh, he did this, but then he did this even better,
Right.
It just gets silly, but I don't know.
Is that where you get most of your influences then, just from hearing other artists? Do you think, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Inspiration.
For me, it's like I've always tried to emulate my favorite artists, but I'm not a great musician or a great songwriter or anything. So me trying to do it and then kind of flubbing it up is kind of I end up with this product that's like sort of my own, just by accident. So it works out for me that way.
Have you noticed your life change at all throughout your recent success the last few years?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you seem very genuine in everything that you've put out. It seems like when you listen to your music, or when I watch a video of you, and even talking to you right now, it seems like you are you all the time. But have things changed for you, like just by maybe touring all the time and people coming up to you and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess my health is probably not as good as it should be anymore. But that, and I don't have to worry. I used to get like all freaked out near the end. I'm like, how am I going to pay rent?
Right.
And now I can handle that now, and I don't know. Things have gotten crazy, but I think that what me and my band try to do is try to keep things like on a a level where, you know, it's because a lot of bands our size, you know, they're like, well, we're gonna get a tour bus, like we're gonna get like, you know, pyrotechnics, we're gonna, you know, 'cause we're at the level where, you know, the venues are big enough where the possibilities are crazy, you know. But I'm not really interested, so it's kind of like, yeah, just try and keep it pretty mellow for the most part, and play a lot, and just try and stay sane, you know. So for the most part, it's the same, but you know, definitely, like, you know, I get, you know, say somebody's like, hey, Mac, like at the grocery store or something, that's different, you know. That didn't happen before, but.
Mm-hmm. If you had a rap moniker, what would it be?
Young Coconut.
Young Coconut. I like that a lot. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Can we do like a little like James Lipton kind of thing?
Sure.
Favorite sound.
Sound?
Sound, yeah.
Favorite sound. Man, I don't know. Maybe I like the sound of farting in the bathtub.
The bubbling.
Maybe that's more of a feeling. I don't know.
Right.
But it is kind of funny because it's like, especially if you get a big one, it's like boom, you know.
And you feel the vibrations like resonating in the tub as well. Right on. That's a good one. That's one of the better ones I've heard. What about smell? Your favorite smell?
Favorite smell? I actually really like the way my farts smell in the bathtub. Kind of like uncontaminated, you know. I don't take baths. This is like from when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
And if I had a nice bathtub, I would still be farting in the bath today. But I used to do this thing where I would fart and I would catch it in my mom's like soap container. And you could like, it was the purest fart possible.
What would be your favorite word? Is it also fart?
No, maybe I like like harsh consonants. So maybe like maybe let's see.
That's a good one. I think
too,
yeah, I like it. Yeah. I think I saw a James Lipton thing with Dave Chappelle, and he used that as his favorite word as well.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. You guys have that correlation there. What's the most recent thing you've listened to?
Today we listened to this guy Harumi Hosono. He played in a band called Yellow Magic.
Yellow Magic.
Orchestra.
Yep. Yeah, they're so good.
What album we were listening to was what was it? I don't know. One of his earlier albums. It might have been Bon Voyage Co. I think. I think it was that one.
Cool. You've been listening to Yellow Magic for a while, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I like never get sick of it. It's crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, I can't believe how good that band is.
Yeah.
Do you go to a lot of concerts? I mean, I know you play a lot, obviously, but is that something you do a lot?
Yeah. I mean, in New York, it's nice because if any of my friends or like any bands that I like come to town, they all definitely do come to town if they're touring the States. So you kind of got to pick your battles sometimes because you could just go to shows every single night of your life living there, and like good shows too. But no, I mean I do, but it's also, you know, when I'm off tour, it's kind of like just kind of relax. So if it's something I really want to do, then I will. But a lot of the time, no.
What's your favorite show you've ever been to?
Man, favorite show ever. Maybe the first time I saw Jonathan Richman. That was pretty sick.
Killer. Yeah, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was probably when I was like 16 or 17. It was in Calgary, Alberta, like 3 hours away from my hometown.
Yeah.
At a music festival, and he was playing like this big stage, and I didn't really know what to expect, and I think most of the crowd had no idea what to expect either, but it was like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. It was amazing.
I remember being around that age, like 16, and just loving Jonathan Richman so much. I mean, I still do, but back then it was just insane. Do you listen to like a wide variety of music? I assume you do, but
yeah. I mean, there's I listen to a lot of stuff, especially, you know, from being around different people and being around my bandmates and stuff. But I mean, I definitely really pay attention and you know, curate my interest in like certain kinds of music. You know, it takes me a long time to really get into something. Like I have to, for example, at Yellow Magic, I feel like I've been getting into them for like a year, and there's still like a ton more that I haven't really touched on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm open for whatever for the most part.
I know you've mentioned you kind of like some sort of cheesy music. Do you have a favorite era? This is a question someone asked me to ask you, but do you have a favorite era of cheesy or, you know, shitty music? Or just a favorite era?
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock. Thank you for
Yeah.
putting that. Yeah, Christopher Cross. That guy was just.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's perfect. That's great. That's great. We
But
actually.
it is. You're right. It is cheesy and it's really weird.
Yeah, it's
Like
such a.
we were talking about it yesterday. It's kind of like it's almost like different. I listen to it and like appreciate it differently than I would other music. Like almost like I have a different emotional connection with it where I'm like it's kind of funny at the same time as like
Totally.
being like, ooh yeah, those drums, like that sounds really good. Yeah, it's really weird.
It's almost like irreverent or ironic in a way. It's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, Mac, I appreciate it. I'll let you get back. I know you're busy and everything. And we can't wait for your show and really appreciate it a lot.
No problem.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Cool.
Take care, man.
See you, dude.
All right.
God bless.
Bye.